Hi everyone. So this is the second video of this series, How to Game Dev. And today we're gonna take one element and talk about it in details. And what's the relationship of this specific element with the others. Okay. And by the way, I'm not trying to imitate uh, pirate software, but I think that I can explain better this way. Okay. Let's get back to aesthetics. Okay, what are aesthetics? Is basically everything you see with your eye, or everything you hear. Is this an ear? Basically, everything you see or hear, and everything you feel in general. Okay, that's what are the aesthetics are. So basically, it's everything that is image and sound. Okay, and if you go to details, aesthetics are the graphic style, the environment, the graphic style, the characters, design and environment design, also the sound, SVX, VFX, and everything that you see and hear and feel in the game. Aesthetics, there is another term which is the visual language. What's this term? And it's basically the tools we use to explain something that you see or hear. For example, the color theory. For example, if you see the color red means danger, green means health, blue means comfort, and etc. Okay. And there is also, we use the shape to explain something. When you see a character and it's all circles, the design of this character is all circles. So you assume that it's safe to approach and it's cute. There is also the triangle, and it's edgy. And since it's edgy, so it gives the impression that it's kind of dangerous, and something edgy, something sharp that might hurt you. Okay. And when you see box or a rectangle, it feels that this kind of shapes don't even move. Also the sound and the atmosphere, how the scene feels like. I'm so bad at drawing. And in the last video, we said that the more balanced these four elements between each other, the more cohesive the experience is. And if we take a look about what's the relationship between aesthetics and story, imagine that you have story to share, or you have story to tell simply. So how can you balance between these two elements? And the answer is so simple, actually. And you ask yourself this question: what kind of aesthetics is the best to tell the story? And vice versa. And you ask yourself, what kind of story would fit this kind of aesthetics? And also, if you go to the technology, same thing. If you have a realistic environment and characters and everything, so you ask yourself, what kind of technology I need to maintain these looks and these designs and these characters and these shapes and colors, and the same for technology. And you ask, what's the best aesthetics that would fit this technology? If you go to the mechanics, when we think about the mechanics and aesthetics, there is a new term which is visualization, and it's about 4 points actually. First one is clarity. So for example, one of the mechanics that you can shoot. So when you shoot with the aesthetics, it's so clear that it's a bullet and there is an impact. Enemy get damaged and there is an animation of the enemy and all of this. That's called clarity. What happened between the mechanic and the aesthetics is clear. And with that clarity, we go to the next point which is the information. One of the mechanics is you can heal. Okay, when you heal, you see the animation, for example. Then in your UI, and when you heal, your health, your visuals give me an information that my health increased, and it's so clear. It's more than before because I healed, and that's the mechanic, and that's what I see, and that's what I notice. And there is also another point, which is the immersion. Is feeling you get, you feel that you are in the game. You feel that you are in emotional experience with the game. Like, for example, when you are playing like a horror game and like so scary, so there is like so many visuals, like you see so many like scary things, and you hear so many scary voices, and your mechanics, for example, is moving, so you're running, you also feel scared yourself as a player, and that's the experience, and that's called immersion. That's the aesthetics element, and what's the relationship between them, and the other elements like story, technology, and mechanics, and how to balance between them. It's just you ask yourself the simple questions: which kind of story, which kind of technology, which mechanics fit for this aesthetics to deliver final experience to the player. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, you can drop it, and see you next video.